Attention gamers. League of Legends, the game we all love to hate, is slowly dying. Which is the clickbait YouTubers' way of saying for the first time in a long time its player count numbers have actually dropped instead of grew, and you could say it's because they neglect their biggest source of advertisement, aka creators who have generated over 100 million views for their game by not even letting them into a cookie-cutter partner program, while other games are sending that same creator free boxes of goodies after they made like 10 videos for their game a year ago. But views are down for the game across the board, as even comparing the last time this bald yelping dad gamer traveled to a different country, he got almost 4 times the views than the same concept last month, which brings me to the guy who spanked the old Tyler in that climb contest. As today's video, I would like to highlight some of my own opinions on why I think league player counts are starting to tank, no pun intended, as the first issue is unbalanced bullshit in the game that makes for the most unengaging experience for everyone else involved. And before the patch note dick writing commenters say this has been nerfed, I want to point out that this was after all the nerfs, which Alois summed up here.
So yeah guys, if you're unaware, they have upped the cost of Warmocks with 200 gold. They have also in the last patch made it so you need 1500 bonus health in order for the passive to work. Instead of 10% movement speed out of combat, you now have 5%. So the movement speed is nerfed, the gold has been increased, and you need extra bonus health. So yeah, there's that.
Which brings me to the first problem. Broken designs that nerfs can't fix. You see, Alois played a normal early game, hit an early T-Mobile roaming data plan to earn some cash, and then got caught with his proxy peen in his hand, but there was nothing notable about the start of the game until he finished his first item, which was Warmogs on Mundo, and I guess the single dev at Riot didn't realize this was a thing, as he immediately turned his brain off and played a full game of patty cake on a turret right in front of that bloody flatulator, which you would probably think will cost him his life.
Nope.
He won the fight, but then instead of having to base and heal up like a normal champ, we get to watch the beautiful design in action.
This is why I still think Warmogs as a design is just the most broken item in the game on Mundo.
So just to recap, with a single tank item he has more AD than a 3-item ADC and a constant stream of healing so that he never has to back, which means this can happen.
I actually said this. I have 40 gold, by the way. Take him out. Bro, I have 40 fucking gold, by the way. This guy's dead again. Thinks he can kill me or something. Guys, I have 40 gold. Oh my days, it's just over.
This also brings me to an honorable mention.
I am 5 levels above this Leona that I can one-shot very fast.
Duo lane XP gap is a joke.
And if I don't one-shot the Leona, I'll just have to kill it. Back to your turret. You can CC me. 3, 4 in your face. And yeah, I just took the turret under the nose whilst tanking it and one-shotting the Jhin whilst cool vibing. I think that's a pretty chill game experience, if you'd ask me.
So he really cosplays the Mundo lore by quite literally going where he pleases, because his margin for error is now 69.5 times bigger than any other player, which is super engaging, and he's not even that fed yet. Like, imagine if he used HelloFresh before the game. HelloFresh is the #1 way to ensure that you are as fed as humanly possible at all times. It's the healthiest, tastiest, most full of variety-packed meal plan that gets shipped straight to your door so that you can stick to a diet that lets you operate at your true potential and feel good doing it. It's super easy to use. You go to their site, select what type of meals you want delivered and how many a week, then bam, it's like magic. But right now they are running quite possibly their best deal ever, where using code RAVSEP10 will get you 10 free meals and free breakfast for freaking life, which honestly sounds too good to be true, but the most important meal of the day is that much better when you aren't paying for it. So thank them for sponsoring my content and give them a try today. Okay, where were we?
320 AD building food tank.
Ah yeah, bad game design.
They're buying anti-tank items by the looks of it, but I don't think it's gonna help them, guys.
And so one example of broken designs was in the books, and I figured I would try it myself in a game, which brings me to problem numero 2. The community is a rotten piss vial. Now, to set this soon-to-be shit-covered stage, this was a blind normal because I had never played this roided Teletubby, so despite the behaviors you will see, there was no LP or trophies or grandma's lives bet against the outcome of this game. The beginning of laning phase had some growing pains for me as I was learning my new body while some Barbie-themed grave-digging dickhead shoved me into tower, launched his golden boogers at me and then shovel spanked me. There is no hiding the fact that there was a bit of a top Grand Canyon as this fluorescent fuckboy had full control of the pushes, recruited a large cat in lane, and had me constantly more surrounded by pussy than a young Dan Bilzerian while I was still learning the hard way to give my ult a few seconds before receiving another shovel to the face. Keep in mind I wasn't on the grief meter by any standard, but in 1v1s I was definitely outmatched, which is fine by my book, but then I guess when I displayed my lack of skill mid in front of my jungler, problem number 2 went into labor and was about to be birthed. You see, this absolute fail fest of a play was my honest best attempt here. If it didn't look like I was trying and just getting outplayed, then I guess fuck me, but here's where the bullshit started. Smokey Bones comes out with the accusation that I am intentionally trolling and that I've been reported for, I guess, doing poorly in his unranked game. Milio the little Bond boy hops on the cancer train by saying I should have rotated at one point, and then Nocturne does what all league players do and judges a player's worthiness to be treated like a human by their win rate or rank, as I'm just asking for him to not report me because I've been banned for bullshit like this before, but he's sticking to his position as a dickhead by saying he dislikes bad players like me, and after one more argument from my side that stated I was just trying to get better in a norm, he doubles down on the mentality that my life is pitiful in silver compared to his in gold before muting me because I said I'm just here to have fun in a normal mode video game. Meanwhile, I take a hiatus from problem 2 to go back to problem 1 as my apparently trolling underfed ass now has a warmog, so I skilllessly walk up to the albino gun slut who I have more AD than by building nothing but tank and win the 1v1. While some people are probably saying I should mute, I must just be psychologically messed up because in my mind knowing people are shit talking about me without being able to see it tilts me more, so I am like a daddy issued kid now trying to change their opinion about me instead by trying my ass off pushing objectives, helping lock down big kills and grouping for objectives, the thing that I was accused of not doing last time, but then this happens. This launches season 2 of the Dickhead Virgin Academy as now Milio has a starring role in the story. They continue their tirade of bullying me while I debunk their arguments with a single statement like an Adderall enhanced Ben Shapiro, while very obviously trying to help my team get the win. And even in the midst of this asshole leading the charge for my ban, I try to defend against the spread of cancer by complimenting his play, and after continuing my role as the team troller for the remainder of the game, we come back and pull off the win as I sit in the end game report after dealing with undeserved harassment until I see this. An apology that he misjudged me as I get a sprinkle of hope, thinking maybe this community isn't cursed after all. So you know what I did? I immediately queued a ranked locked in Mundo, told my team to suck my nuts and ran it down mid Mua haha psych, this was practice tool, but what I did instead was show that problem 1 is probably the thing that causes problem 2 is this is how my very next game went on Mundo. I started the game letting the 2 wards in my bag accrue interest, so naturally this attracted some competing investors who wanted some info on my strategy while also wanting to slaughter me, but I pulled out a Pokeball and said Beedrill I choose you, and the first counter gank was very greatly a success. Then I shoved back into turret while my jungler intercepted Lanky Lucifer on his commute back to lane, which resulted in me saying shit like medicine time and running around like a madman until the demon pissed off again. I was already feeling like an unstoppable bully as I was now the guy who was pinning the Satan on the tower and then bitch slapping him back to base while their jungler knew there was already nothing he could do. They did try to team up on me at one point, but I had more dodge than a Durango as I just tiptoed all the way back to base holding my cleaver up like my name was just shouted out in an attendance roll call. But you know who wasn't present in this situation? This Aatrox's brain cells Omega lol as I tagged in the tower to take him down. I took a first tower and then started telling the rest of the world how stupid broken I was about to become. I would put myself in terrible situations as if I was trying to mutate my genes like a young Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, knowing full well that whatever shitfest I would be in I would just come out of it stronger with full health soon enough, while the pussies who chased me would be stuck low and I could finish exactly what I had started a few minutes earlier. But there was an appearance from another honorable mention. The 0-12 bot lane had to make an appearance, so this game was gonna be close. Psych, whoever was getting fed off of them wasn't benefiting from broken game design, aka problem 1, so my fed was greater than sign their fed and the fights looked like this. It got to the point where I could just walk into their whole team and no one could even touch me, so even with the handicap of a Tentacle Tina support I could just walk and take objectives and walk out because I have over 6,000 health and 300 attack damage, so in reality who was going to stop me at this point? It certainly wasn't going to be the enemy team, who was also legendary earlier in the game if you remember, and so that concludes my essay entitled Some of the Problems That I Think Is Causing People to Play League of Legends Less. Leave your own essays in the comments if you'd like. Subscribe and brush your teeth tonight. Rav out.